Hello YouTube, Marielle here. Today I would like to talk about how living and dealing with a narcissist can take over your life, your senses, your ability to think clearly, and your ability to function too. Over the years, even when I was moving forward and not putting too much stock into what was happening, they do so many different things and it just doesn't stick because you don't pay attention or it just doesn't mean anything to you. There are a few things that happened. In my case, there is that feeling inside when things would happen. I don't know how to describe it, but it's more like there was a gut reaction, just an instinctive reaction that would take place. But I'll not think about it. But somewhere in the back of my head, the back of my mind, there is some memorization happening. And I think that's what children do too. People say children are resilient. Yes, they are. But they are resilient because they don't know how to process their lives, really. They have no backup system. They don't have the maturity sometimes to explain, to assess, to assimilate, to question. That's why they are like sponges. They just soak it all in without questioning. And they can go through situations in a repetitive manner without reacting to it. That's what makes them resilient. And that's what makes some of us resilient. And that's what makes some of us able to withstand what those narcissists, those psychopaths do to us. Some of us are extremely naive. Some of us are just innocent. We are on almost those same, we almost have that same mindset as those children. We see, but we have no backup system to explain what's happening. And because we can't, then we sit there and wait until we understand. In my case, it was a case of waiting until I have enough of those same situation to keep repeating over and over and over for me to be able to see that actually there is a pattern. And then to figure out and assess what I think of that pattern, and then from then decide how to react. It's such a lengthy process, and in the meantime that person is chipping away at you, and in the meantime that person is destroying you and you're doing nothing. The process from when things start to when you start understanding, when you start observing something's not quite right, to when you start observing that there is a pattern, to when you start thinking I have to react and I have to prevent, or I have to dodge, or I have to sidestep. That process takes such a long time that you are vulnerable to them. And all the while, it takes such a huge mental effort on your part to piece all of that together, that by the time you realize exactly what's what, you're caught into that cycle of negative mind thinking. You're constantly thinking and remembering and trying to connect the dots. And even when you're not actively trying to do that, your mind, the minute you're awake, does that for you. Your ability to think, to reason, and to escape in your mind is taken away from you by that constant, ongoing chatter in your mind of trying to figure things out. Your mind is constantly trying to figure this out. Your mind doesn't even allow you to escape. You're caught in it. And when it comes time, just like myself, to gather my wits, to gather my thinking ability, to move forward and put plans in place for me to escape, I'm sitting duck with my mind. But I have to admit, it's or feels like moving a mountain in my own head. To come up with a plan, stick to it, and every day do those tasks. All I've ever done in the so many decades that I've had my children, I've been a stay-at-home mother. And I've made the mistake of isolating myself. And that's a video I will make. So I have, to a certain extent, developed bad habits. And I'm having a hard time reorganizing my being, my time, to focus efficiently to get myself out of this.